Hickory Farms is a food gift retailer that opened in 1951. Thank you for your suggestions.
Hi, I'm here at Hickory Farms to help beef up the fight against muscular dystrophy. Now through September the 5th, for every pound of beef stick sold, Hickory Farms will contribute 20 cents to my kids. And on top of that, buy a cut piece for 30 cents off the pound price. Or if you buy the whole stick, they'll give you the usual 20 cents a pound additional discount. That's terrific. You save 50 cents. My kids get 20 cents and you're eating delicious. Terrific. Oh, I love it.
The roots of Hickory Farms stretch back to the late 1940s when Richard Ransom and his cousin Earl Ransom started a produce business in Sandusky, Ohio, known as Dick's Market. Ransom was tired of driving a vegetable truck for his parents' wholesale produce business and wanted to try something new. Seeking a business to even out their highly seasonal work, the cousins casted around for new opportunities. Convinced that there was a demand for old-fashioned wheels of Swiss and cheddar cheeses like those they remembered from their youth, they tested their idea in a small booth at a 1950s home show in Toledo. That first booth was so successful that the partners began licensing two-person crews to set up kiosks at local and regional fairs around the country. They soon added a 4-pound, 2-foot-long smoked summer sausage, dubbed the beef stick, to their product line, and renamed their business Hickory Farms after the hickory smoked sausage. By 1959, Hickory Farms was selling 1.5 million pounds of beef stick via over 250 temporary booths as well as mail order. That same year, Hickory Farms opened its first retail store in Maumee, Ohio, selling cheese and summer sausage. The company fostered a country store image with storefronts modeled after Red Barn and friendly staffers wearing red and white checked shirts and denim skirts. Heavy sampling of sausages, cheeses, and jams was the order of the day. Richard Ransom, who quickly emerged as a company leader, put a great deal of stock in this marketing method, saying, "We think we have the finest products on the market, and the best way to get people to agree with us is to give them a sample." Ransom positioned sample displays in the doorways of his store to attract customers, then offered free coffee to keep them in the store for an extended period of browsing, tasting, and it was hoped, buying. By 1964, the company claimed to have booked more booth space at fairs and exhibitions than any other business in the world. Hickory Farms opened its first franchise store outside Toledo in 1960. The same year the company was incorporated. The stores quickly evolved into seasonal monsters. In Hickory Farms' case, 40% of its sales were made during the fourth quarter gift-giving holiday season, when its annual balance sheet traditionally went from the red to the black. Ransom charged a low initial franchise fee, then collected 5 to 6% of each outlet's weekly gross sales. He insisted on standardization, asserting in the marketing magazine interview that a successful franchise is nothing more than a continuation of a good idea. It's a repetition of success that eliminates excuses for failure. Ransom was especially sold on the power of promotion, requiring each franchise to invest at least 5% of its gross sales on advertising, asserting that when advertising goes down, sales go down. Hickory Farm franchises were so highly sought after that the CEO stopped selling them in 1965 when he said he started granting them. The chain achieved rapid growth by encouraging its franchisees to own more than one store. Hickory Farms had 57 retail outlets by 1965 and opened its 100th store just 3 years later. The parent company's revenues exceeded $3 million by the late 1960s. Hickory Farms' 1971 initial public offering launched a decade of rapid growth when annual revenues multiplied tenfold. By 1975, franchising had enabled the chain to grow to over 300 units in 43 states and Canada. Although the franchise strategy had encouraged growth without significant capital expenditure by the parent company, Ransom sought to retain more profits in the corporate coffers by acquiring franchises and establishing company-owned stores. Ransom, who moved from president to chairman and CEO in 1975, revived the booth idea that year, using small kiosks in malls to penetrate markets too small for a full-size store and to supplement permanent store sales during the holiday season. By late 1977, the parent company owned 60 outlets. Hickory Farms enjoyed an average annual growth rate of 20% during the decade. By 1980, the chain had over 500 stores, 80 of them company-owned. Chain-wide revenues grew from about $100 million in 1976 to over $164 million in 1979. The company grew steadily, adding crackers and mustard to its product line, and by 1981 there were over 1,000 Hickory Farms stores and seasonal kiosks in the US and Canada. This phenomenal growth attracted a suitor at the dawn of the new decade. After an initial purchase of 15% of the chain's equity, General Host Corporation acquired all of the Hickory Farms from its founder and shareholders for a total of $40 million in 1980. The specialty food chain became the most profitable subsidiary in General Host's $750 million family, which included Little General convenience stores, Hot Sam's pretzel shops, and Vandy Camp's frozen foods, among other holdings. Hoping to use Hickory Farms as the core of a successful food retailing group, the new parent acquired the new subsidiary's largest single franchisee, Hickory Farms Sales, for $11 million. The 113-store addition brought the number of company-owned stores, even with franchise units, at about 200 locations each. But General Hosts hoped that the steady growth and high profitability enjoyed by Hickory Farms would be repeated throughout the conglomerate were not realized. Instead, Hickory Farms began to resemble its erratically profitable parent. Although it was America's best-known brand of specialty foods and owned more individual stores than ever, the chain suffered back-to-back losses totaling $3.5 million in 1985 and 1986. Retail analysts blamed mismanagement, declining mall traffic, and increasing competition from upstart specialty sellers like Honey Baked Ham for the chain's decline. No matter what the causes, by 1986, General Host had decided to refocus it on subsidiary Frank's Nursery and Crafts, the 150-store chain of garden superstores it had acquired in 1983. Divesting its other interests, including Hickory Farms, took more than a year of fits and starts. 2 deals, one with the management group and one with Nutrition World Incorporated, a Chicago operator of specialty food stores, fell apart due to the acquirer's failure to secure financing. In 1987, a group of managers and investors led by Robert D. Romualdo was able to garner the $51 million financing necessary to acquire their company. They paid $38 million for Hickory Farms and used the remaining $13 million to get the company back on its feet. D. Romualdo was credited not only with returning Hickory Farms to profitability, but also with re-engineering it for new market realities. But after 4 years at the helm, he surprised the company's employees and officers alike when he resigned abruptly without comment in 1988. The Hickory Farms of the early 1990s was as much of a smaller operation than that of the early 1980s, with less than 200 full-size stores total, less than half its peak number of outlets. As many longtime franchisees neared retirement age, the parent organization sought to boost the number of company-owned stores through acquisition. Hickory Farms purchased its largest remaining franchisee, Hickory Farms Northwest, in 1991, adding 14 stores in Washington and Oregon. Other smaller store purchases brought the total number of company-owned stores to over 100 and reduced franchise locations to 55 by 1992. The new CEO, Frank, also scaled back Hickory Farms' packaging operations, closing plants in California, New York, and Oregon, and consolidating that work at the Toledo headquarters. Frank set out to revitalize Hickory Farms' mall stores and simultaneously cultivated more vital marketing outlets. By the 1990s, Frank recognized the growth of catalog shopping as well as the explosive growth of the internet. Frank also resurrected a mail-order operation that had been phased out in the early 1970s. The company diversified from its traditional country-style beef stick and cheeses through acquisitions of several catalog operations. In 1991, it bought Blue Diamond Growers Almond Plaza catalog business, which sold almonds and other nuts. The acquisition of Catalog Marketing Incorporated followed in 1992. This purchase added Mission Orchards, a catalog company that featured premium fruit gifts, California Cuisine, a mail-order gourmet food seller, and mail-order meat gifts from Austin Street Market. In 1994, Hickory Farms acquired ConAgra's Incorporated, ConAgra Consumer Direct, which included a mail-order catalog business selling steaks and snacks. They renamed it Catalog Marketing of Illinois. The ConAgra purchase also complemented Hickory Farms' growing premium incentive business, which sold gift packages used by employers to reward their employees. By the mid-1990s, Hickory Farms' product line had come to include fresh fruits, sun-dried tomato pesto, brie, steaks, seafood, and petite fours. By 1995, the chain's estimated sales had nearly recovered to the high of $164 million, recorded in 1979, with about 15% of the total coming from mail-order marketing. In 2000, the company shifted away from year-round mall-based locations to focus on internet and catalog sales. As a result, the company closed its remaining year-round mall stores. However, the company would continue to operate pop-up stores and kiosks in malls during the holiday season. On April 11, 2016, founder Richard Ransom died in Toledo at the age of 96. In 2017, the company relocated to Chicago, Illinois from Toledo, Ohio. In 2021, Wicked Good Cupcakes was acquired by the Hickory Farms. Wicked Good Cupcakes had gained popularity in 2013. Today, Hickory Farms specializes in gift boxes and baskets, wine gifts, chocolates, and other gifts. Its food can be found in more than 500 pop-up shops and kiosks in retail shopping centers during the holiday season. The company does offer products year-round in different outlets. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Thanks.